And I think it's really good to acknowledge it, because then you know how to move forward. You know how to move forward in relationships, in friendships, etc. And you know how to set boundaries with people about things that trigger you. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Asia here, and I'm going to be walking around on another trail today. I really love this one. I think I filmed earlier in the year around the shops here, but I didn't really show you guys. I didn't show you guys the trail, and I wanted to do that with you guys while I talked about and yeah, here's like a really good spot. While I talked about a form of attachment, and I think it's important to like understand again who you are, and I think in acknowledging childhood traumas and the way that you grew up and were raised and etc. You know, again, nobody is perfect, and there's no perfect parent, and that's why, and I wanted to come here, do a walk with you guys while I talk about that. So from the stuff I've learned, the mentorships I've had, the life coach I had, my camera cut off again. I have like 3 battery pack things. Maybe I'm just not getting the battery, but whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna only talk about my form of attachment style. I can't talk about the other one because I don't know of it, but I do know I attract more of a very like, I'm an independent person, but in forms of attachment style, I attract a lot of independent people, not just even guys. I like friendships as well. People who like, they love having their space. Like, and I'm somebody who I'm very clingy, and so I have anxious attachment style. And I know people are gonna be like, oh my god, Asia, you're doing too much, but this is actually very serious stuff. Like, and I think it's really good to acknowledge it, because then you know how to move forward. You know how to move forward in relationships, in friendships, etc. And you know how to set boundaries with people about things that trigger you. And everybody has a trigger. You know, everybody has something that they've dealt with when they were younger, as a kid. And for me, it was, you know, consistency. And for me, it's like, if I don't have, the number one thing is, if I don't have consistency in my life with the relationships I do have, I get really triggered really fast, especially when someone promises me something when it comes to communication and then they don't do it in return, or where there isn't any truth, or where there isn't any honesty. Those are just basic triggers in general. But for me, it is consistency and communication. And whenever I feel really triggered, one thing for sure is, we're on the trail, so everybody's like biking down the lane here. But whenever I feel really triggered, let me know if y'all feel the same way. I feel like a pain really heavy on my chest, like I can't breathe, I can't sleep, can't eat, I cry all the time, because what's happening is you're trying to soothe yourself. You're trying to soothe yourself. You're kind of trying to soothe your inner child whenever stuff is being triggered. And you're soothing yourself because the person that is triggering you isn't soothing you, isn't like actually cooperating with you. Like, for example, if I tell, like, let's say my boyfriend, if I tell him, hey, you know, hey, you haven't talked to me all day, like, what happened? Is everything okay? And he can do one of 2 things, right? he can say, oh my gosh, Asia, I'm so sorry. You know, I've been busy the whole day. I completely forgot. I'm gonna call you in like 10 minutes, in an hour, and we can catch up. Or he'll give me a text, hey, I miss you. I'm gonna talk to you later. I can't talk to you today, but da 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 da. Like, that's the one option, right? And that's a soothing that's like, okay. Because somebody who is really clingy and has an anxious attachment, you know, all I need is one thing from you. All I need is, hey, I'm here. I miss you. We will talk soon. And I can go throughout the day feeling great. Even just one, like a morning text or whatever. But the second option is if somebody responds to you like, oh, I feel controlled. I feel manipulated. I feel like you can't give me the space I need, yada, yada, yada. What they're doing is they're combative, and it's more of a competition. And I actually was like really studying this because one of the people that I watched, Sadia Khan, who is an actual psychologist, talks about that. And for the longest time, I thought like being clingy was really bad. Now I feel like there's toxic clingy, and then there's like clingy where it's like you just need that, a different type of soothing than other people. And so I had no idea about that, and so I'd always beat myself up about that until I finally realized, oh my gosh, it's about communication. It's about setting your boundaries with people and telling them, hey, this is what made me feel this way, and if you can do this, I will feel so much better and more confident in the relationship. And I feel like, you know, people are going to understand that. The people that want to be in your life will get that, and the people that really don't respect you and don't respect your boundaries just don't care, right? Or they have other priorities that just not the same level as you, and that just means that's not the right person for you. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying I'm going to be the guy's number one top priority, but I'm up there in terms of his purpose in life as well. Obviously God first, but then it's like partnership, your family, your relationships with other people, those are important as well. And it shows you like how important you are in that person's life, right? And I've realized that now I have. Before, I really always kind of, again, beat myself. I always thought it was my fault, and I actually would always kind of like be quiet about my boundaries. I never really spoke up for myself when it came to relationships with people. When it came to, you know, being with somebody romantically, I never really stated how I feel. I kind of keep it shut and quiet because through my childhood, again, no one's perfect, but in terms of emotions, it wasn't really big growing up, so it was more of intellect and stuff like that. And so whenever I felt a certain way, I had to keep it to myself, right? Because, and this is like really something common in like Black households where people, you know, as you know, children in a Black family, when you speak up, they're looking at you like, why are you so emotional? All the stuff, all the trauma we've experienced ancestrally, why are you complaining about not feeling seen, right? So then we kind of push ourselves down and say, oh yeah, I don't deserve to have any feeling because of so-and-so and how they feel. And that's not true. There's no reason to negate your own feelings, and there's no reason for the other person to negate their own feelings as well. Each feelings are validated, right? And the whole idea is to cooperate, is to have a compromise with one another. And if that's not something that is working out for you when it comes to your relationships, it's probably best to walk away from it. Now, I've realized the differences between self-sabotage, because I did it a lot, and stating boundaries, okay? So I'll give you an example of the two. Self-sabotage, which I know so well, and I know exactly how to do it, is, let's just say, you know, again, let's go with communication again, but that's something really big for me. So let's just say, right, you are seeing someone and it's been 3 months now, and they just start changing in communication, and you're hearing less and less of them, right? And you're 3 months in, right? And you guys are really like each other and stuff. And the thing is, you're just like, instead of communicating with the person and saying, hey, like, I really believe consistency is important, let's work on this. Instead you say, hey, if you can't do so-and-so, I don't want to be with you anymore. That's self-sabotage, because you're giving somebody the ultimatum. And especially with men, I have learned that women, if you, and this is to the girls, if you give a man an ultimatum the first time he messes up, like, I feel like that's pretty disrespectful, I've learned. And men that respect themselves, men that respect their purpose, and men that value their time are not going to put up with a woman like that, right? They're going to be like, maybe they'll try to work it out the first time, but if you keep giving them ultimatums, it's just disrespectful and rude. When you're in a relationship, you try to work on things. You don't kind of, what's the word? What is the word? You don't threaten them. You don't threaten them with the way out just to get them to do what you want. That's control and that's manipulation. And that's something that I would always do. And to be honest with you, the guys that I did date who took all that crap from me, I never ended up respecting them. I lost attraction to them, actually. I wasn't as attracted to them anymore. And it was just extremely, extremely toxic. Also, the toxic part is they didn't even listen to me. So they would always be like, okay, okay. And then they wouldn't do it. And I would be setting the ultimatum. I would be threatening them. So it was just my control and manipulation on my side. And their side, it was just not giving a, they just didn't care. But they still wanted to have me on their arm. So they were like, okay, okay, but they just never meant it. So it was just crappy on both sides of the spectrum. Like, it was crappy. So, and the example I have for the guys that did not put up with my crap is they literally were just like, all right, Asia, I had a great time with you, it was nice getting to know you, but I already told you my priorities, this, what I'm doing today, and if that's not okay with you, then yeah, we shouldn't see each other anymore. Like, those haven't, they'll just leave completely. And the worst part of it all is you're kind of just like, okay, should I look like the clown and just message and be like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't really mean it? And it's just not, it just shows emotional instability. And that's something that I always dealt with. And so what I learned is how to set boundaries. And I feel like God's been testing me with that. So for example, again, with the communication, I'm going to keep doing that. I think it's so important for women all over, especially people who have that clingy style. Just tell the person, if the person hasn't spoken, if he's spoken to you for a while, just be like, hey, what's up? You know, we haven't spoken this whole day. Can we talk on the phone? Like, I like consistency, and that's something that's valued to me. And I feel disregarded right now, and it doesn't feel good. And yeah, can we have a conversation? Can we catch up and talk? Because consistency is important to me, and it's a big trigger when someone is inconsistent, or I just like somebody to talk to me once a day. The person I'm seeing, the person I'm in a romantic relationship. That is a healthier way of communicating with your partner than saying, if you don't do what I want you to do, then F off, right? Now, it's different when, like, the first time you tell them, and you tell them the right way, and you know, you say, hey, this is triggering me, da 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 da, and you actually tell them about your childhood and where it comes from. Now, someone who is emotionally intelligent, emotionally available, and really actually cares about you is going to be like, okay, I understand. I'm going to work within your schedule, you work within mine. I want to keep seeing you, I care about you, so I'm definitely going to work on it, and I'm so sorry, I did not mean to hurt you. Person who doesn't give a crap is gonna be either gonna be like, I don't care, or whatever, or they're gonna just lie to your face and say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, and then keep doing it, because what they're doing is testing how far they can push you. And a lot of men do that, but women do that too in friendships. They test you a lot to see how far they can push you, how far they can disrespect you. And it comes to a moment where it's like, you just can't have that. And I've done that so many times. I've let people in so many times and just give them the benefit of the doubt each time. That at some point it's kind of like, you gotta have respect for yourself. If you don't have respect for yourself, nobody else is gonna respect anything you say, right? And they actually lose love for you the more they disrespect you and the less you speak up for yourself, right? So it's just a cycle of kind of like abuse in a way, especially if there's something really triggering you. Again, I can't sleep when I'm like really triggered, really, someone's done something, especially, you know, and especially when they know, and I've told them 10 times that it hurts and they still do the same thing. That hurts even more than the first few times. So when somebody does end up just continuing to disrespect your trauma and just negate any of your feelings, that's the point where you say, hey, it was nice meeting you. I really, had this great time, but you keep disrespecting my boundaries, and I've told you time and time again, this is what you've done, and with that, I'm done. You don't give them no freaking ultimatums anymore. They're gonna do what they want to do. You break up with them, you let them go. They're either gonna come back or not come back at all and just move on with their life, okay? And you're just gonna have to move on with your life too. And I have learned that. I've learned that the hard way. And I think, and recently I did it with a friend. She was a mentor too. And honestly, after I had, said my goodbyes really to her, because I gave her one more chance, really. And she just went off and said I was controlling and manipulative. And then I didn't care anymore. I didn't care anything what she had to say anymore. And what happened is I said, hey, I gotta go. I love you. I know you're gonna do great things. God bless you. And that was it. And after that interaction happened, guys, I never felt this type of peace in my life, but peace just overcame me. Happiness overcame me. I felt so good. I felt so good about myself. Why? Because I finally respected myself enough to leave that relationship completely and say, you know what? I love this woman. She's a great person in my life. She's guided me through so many things, through healing, all types of stuff. I'm definitely a better person because of her. But sometimes people are in your life for a season, and that's just that. Sometimes people are in your life for the rest of your life. And that's a beautiful gift as well. But yeah, I just realized I need to value myself more. I need to value my feelings, because my feelings are valid just as much as anybody else's. Your feelings are valid just as much as anybody else's, and this goes for ladies to women too. It's so important to acknowledge your trauma. Speak about it with your partner. If he doesn't get it, if he doesn't accept it, your past, he's not emotionally available. Trust me, I've attracted emotionally available men my whole life. 2, he's not emotionally intelligent. There's a difference between EQ and IQ. You need both, okay? And 3, he just doesn't care, not taking it very seriously. Move on. There's somebody else out there that's just like you. And I always believe if you're somebody in life who's looking for a really healthy relationship and you're emotionally available, emotionally intellectual, emotionally just all the above, there's someone out there just like you looking for someone like you, period. That's how the universe works. That's how the world works anyway. I don't like to say the universe because I believe in God. But if you are like somebody, then somebody else is just like you. So there's somebody out there that wants the same things that you want. So why attract somebody who's just not emotionally inept to deal with it, right? There's some people that are still dealing with their trauma. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to face the truth. And that's their fault. That's something that they need to work on. But you don't want to be their mother. You don't want to be their caretaker. You don't want to build them up. You build them up, they leave you for somebody else that they actually want. So, and there's nothing wrong on your part. Like, there's nothing wrong with you, you know? And I had to really understand that and accept that truth. And yeah, the last one I walked away from, I was just really proud of myself. And I've talked about this with my really close friend Sydney, and yeah, she's in a beautiful relationship, and she just tells me, Asia, there's somebody out there just like you who wants the same things you want, who's able to call you every day, who's able to be consistent with you, and this is romantically, not friendship wise, but somebody who's be there consistent, call you when you need to be called, communicates well, emotionally available to have conversations, deep conversations, serious conversations. Not everything is just to play and have fun. You have to grow up and face reality and face the world. I think it's more beautiful like that too. And I want to be a good parent to my kids one day. I don't want to repeat the same things that I had to go through. I want my kids to feel more vulnerable when it comes to emotions, right? I want them to feel safe. I want them to know it's really important. And because I don't want them to have the type of attachment style I do. I really don't, because it's not fun. It's really not. And that's just, I know that I am probably gonna just need a guy who's way more patient, and that's fine. I'm someone who's very caring, and I know for a fact I can love you through anything. Except my deal breakers, of course, like disloyalty, lies, all that. But I can love a man through about anything, honestly. The ups and downs, like money comes and goes, and it's just a form of life. But people that you care about, love, happiness, joy, that's stuff you can't buy. Those are priceless. And I know I can love him. I can love my boyfriend through anything, honestly, except the deal breakers, of course. And maybe there's somebody out there who needs that type of love, and I need someone who's very patient, and it's just, you have a yin to your yang. The world is always balance. God is balance. He balances things out all the time. So if you're looking for something, or you're in desire of something, it's bound to be there. It's 100% there. You just have to be patient. Ladies, don't look for it, attract it. Men, you go out there and you look for your woman. Go out there and look. She's out there. Just be patient. Yeah. There's a lot of guys that follow my channel. But take the initiative. Go out there, talk to somebody. Make sure that you are in a place of emotionally available for yourself. Being honest with your feelings. I know men, it's really difficult for you guys to say how you feel, but I'm telling you, the right woman, not the chaotic woman, the right one, she will have open arms to that. It's something very beautiful, and it is attractive. To chaotic women, it's not attractive. They like abuse. They like to be hurt. They like to be beaten physically, mentally, whatever have you. I used to be that chaotic woman. And I'll tell you this much. The men were trash, okay? And they had their own issues. And it just made me worse trauma-wise. And yeah, important to heal, to grow, to be a better person. And I really wanted to talk about it. Anxious attachment, clinginess. Don't beat yourself up. You are loved 100%. And someone out there is able to communicate and deal with that. Just don't beat somebody else up for your trauma. They didn't do it to you, so don't punish them for something that somebody else did when you were a child, growing up, you know, other stuff. Don't punish them. Just acknowledge it, let them know what you have gone through, and then communicate. If you, like, maybe we could do this and this, it would make me feel better. It's a soothing mechanism. And one thing I learned, again, from Sadia Khan, she said that, how do you know someone loves you? It's how much they soothe you. It's like it's like a selfless act of love. And I will always remember that. And also somebody, my last mentor, she also told me when someone loves you, how do you know? And she said, they don't quit. They don't quit on you. They don't quit on you. That's true love. And I 100% believe that. Love is a choice you have to take every single day. And it's a choice to love yourself every day. It's not easy, you know. We're not perfect. But yeah. Okay, guys. I love y'all. I hope you guys like this video. Like and subscribe. I keep forgetting that, so I'm going to start saying that on my videos. And yeah. Stay tuned for some more content of these humble series videos and these trail walks. It's a gorgeous day. Look at how beautiful it is out here. Sparkles of the water. So yeah, love you guys so much. See you soon. I love you. God loves you. God bless. Bye, y'all.